Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Gandorf, and if you're new here, thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning viewer, I greatly appreciate you for coming back. Today we are going to be doing the box Madness on Try Hack Me. Not too much to say about this box when we get in. It does have a few little tricks, but we'll get into those. So right off the bat, down here in your flag submission, we have our start machine button, which I'm fixing to do, but I want to point out, when you see a photo down here, it's worth to go ahead and grab it and take a look at it, see if there's anything there. So that's what we want to do first. Let's go to save image. All right, I'm in my folder for this, and I'm just going to call it madness.jpg. Really do love it. I love Alice themed stuff anyways. Okay, and here on the terminal, we're just going to do SGID, extract, if I can type, -sf, and then the name of our file. We don't have a passphrase, we're just going to hit enter. Alright, we got a password.txt file. Let's take a look at it. Alright, so we've got our password here. Nice. So we'll go ahead and copy that. And for our notes, we'll just put unknown, again if I can type right, and the password. And if you're not familiar with this format, you'll often see this a lot in the Linux world and just security in general. You'll have username, password. Just an easy way to look at it real quick. Alrighty, so I'll get this box started, and when it's up and running and I've verified I can connect to it, I'll be back and we'll get started. Alrighty, we're back. Box is up, I connect to it, so we are good to get started. So first thing, of course, we want to do is edit our host file. So you can see here, I've got the IP address at madness.thm, so we're good to go. Okay, and as always, first thing we're going to do is an nmap scan. So we're just going to do a basic quick port scan to see what we can find. Alright, we've got SSH and HTTP open. Let's take a look at the flags and details, see if we can get information off of that. Okay, and we're going to do that with this command here. And if you've never seen this -scv, that's just combining two switches together, and it works just fine. Okay. So here's our results. SSH looks normal, and on 80 here, Apache 2 Ubuntu default page, it works. So this looks like the user has not set anything up other than just getting the packages installed and getting them running. So let's go take a look at the web page. Alrighty, so here is the landing page, and when you type in your browser, make sure you put that HTTP:// don't put the S, you'll get this to load. And then on the surface, it looks normal. There's nothing out of place here. If you've seen this default page, you've seen it 1,000 times. So let's take a look at the page source real quick, make sure we're not missing anything here. Okay, so what you want to look for specifically when you're looking at this is for any comments that were added. This one right here is not normal. It stands out. They will never find me. Well, what is it talking about? Well, if you remember, there's this little image icon right here. It means it was trying to load something but couldn't. Something's broken. What's it trying to grab? This THM.jpg, okay? Typically if you click on it, it would load here, but as you can see, it can't. There's an error. Okay, so let's see if we can grab that file real quick. And we'll do that with wget, and we're going to feed it the direct link to the file for it to grab. Alright, we got it. Let's take a look over here. Oh, yep, something's broken in it. So if you're not familiar with Linux, when you see an icon like this for a picture, that usually means something's broken about it. What happens if we try to open it? Yep. Nothing. Alright, let's go back into terminal and take a look at a couple things here. First thing is the file command. Let's see what does Linux think it's supposed to be. It's just saying data. That's not good. Okay, and using hexedit, we can see that internally, it looks like it's supposed to be a PNG file. That's really odd. So let's change the name over to PNG and see if we can figure out what's going on. Alrighty, we've got the PNG file here, just using the copy command to make a new file. And it looks like it's still having issues. Yeah, let's run the file command on it again and see what it says. Still marked data. The original ending is JPEG. So let me show you a web page that if you don't have bookmarked, it would be a good thing to go ahead and get bookmarked. I'll leave a link down below. Alright, and that page is on Wikipedia of all places, list of file signatures. So this is nice. It shows you the hex string and anything else you need to know about it, offsets or whatever, and what the actual extension is for that signature, and tells you a description of what it is. So real quick, if we do a Control F and look for JPG, you're going to see we have a few. Now, JPEG, RAW, or GIF, or XF file format. So which one do we use? Well, typically what you'll want to do is start with the top one and work your way down. So let's see if we can incorporate this using our hex tools into the file and see if we can get it to work. Okay, so we're using hex edit again, and let's take a look at that. FFD8 FFDB. Okay, simple enough. So we just type that in, and then we'll hit Control X to save and exit. Save changes, yes. Let's try to open the file now. Still not able to. Let's run hex edit one more time. We'll go to our next one, which is this big long boy here. For that, I'm going to shrink this down so I can see it. So apologies if you can't make out everything. I'll go over it real quick when I make my terminal large again. Just wanted to save that real quick. So what we did is we edited the first 12 here. We adjusted it, and over here now you can see it says GIF on the side. We have saved this so we can get out. Oh, by the way, if you're not familiar with how to get out of this, it's Control C if you don't want to save. But if you want to save your edits, Control X. And there we go. We finally have an image. And we got a hidden directory. All right, this is hidden. Let me pull up the notes here. Do slash this is hit. Well, let me hit the right number. Hidden, and come back over here, and let's just plop this down, see what we get. Alright, welcome. I've been expecting you to obtain my identity. You need to guess my secret entered. That is wrong. Get out. So let's take a look at the page source real quick. It's between 0 and 99, but I don't think anyone will look here. So there's no JavaScript actually running on here. So question becomes, how do we enter a secret here? So if you've done some stuff with working with web pages, you already know how you can pass data in a URL. And if you're not familiar, that's basically going to look like this. And in this case, I'm going to guess it's probably going to be the word secret. And we put equals 0. And if we hit enter, okay, yeah, sure enough, there it is. You see it changed? Secret entered 0. I don't know how well you can see. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit here. There we go. So you can see it changed to a 0. And when I'm doing stuff like this, I actually like to work on the view source page. So I'm just going to run through and try the first 10 or 15 so, see if anything comes up. If not, then we'll throw together a script real quick to take care of this. Okay, so nothing in the first 10. So we're going to do this real quick. Instead of writing a script, there's actually a way we can use a directory scanner like Foof to see what we can get. First thing is we're going to need to make a file containing all the numbers between 0 and 99. Okay, and we're going to do that with the sequence command. We're going to tell it we want to start at 0, end at 99, and save it all into nums.txt. And if we cat the file, you can see it gives us our numbers. So with the foof command, however you want to say it, we're going to give it the text file we just created, and we're going to use the -u and give it the URL there. And here at the end where we have our secret, this is where we're going to put our fuzz word so it knows to put those numbers right there. So let's run it real quick and see what we get on the first few. Oh wow, that came back really quick. So status 200, 408, words 45, lines 19. Let's see about putting a filter in for words, which I believe is FW, and we'll set to 45 and see what we get. Good, that knocked it out, and looks like 73 is what we are looking for. So we go over here, type in 73. Ah, you got it right, but I won't tell you who I am. And we get this little lovely jubbly thing here. Let's take a step back. And remember, we got a new image. And the last image we got, there was a file inside. So let's possibly take a look to see if there's something inside this one. Alrighty, so there seems to be something there, potentially, and it needs a passphrase. Let's use that new string we just got. Yep. That was it. So let's cat hidden.txt. I know how to type English, I promise. Oh, here's a username. I didn't say it would make it easy for you. Okay, so we've got just letters, or lowercase. So my first thought is definitely going to be a rot. So let's go back over to CyberChef. Drop that in. Pull rot 13 back up. Joker. So you remember we had a password with an unknown user. So underneath I'm just going to put Joker here so we can test it out. And now since we got a username and a password, remember there was an SSH. Let's see if we can connect. Okay. Let's grab our password here. Hey, we're connected. How about that? All right, cool. Let's take a quick look at what we got here. Pretty bland basic, and there's our user.txt file. You can cat that and get your first flag. All right, so now on to root.txt. We are going to be looking for SUIDs or GUIDs. If you don't know what those are, I'll see if I can find an article and link it below, give some more description of them. But basically, they're sticky user IDs and sticky groups IDs. And what those are basically files that you can run, and you get to run them as the user that they're set to because the sticky bit is set. So if you've never searched for them before, we're going to use the find command. We're going to do the / say we want from the root directory through the entire thing. Use the -perm option, say we want to look at permissions. /2000 is for the sticky user ID, SUID. And then all errors we want to send to null. We don't want to send them to screens. We don't want to see all that. Let's see what we can find. Alrighty, looks like we got a few things here. Nothing really stands out. That journal looks a little odd with some logs. So real quick, there's some other options we can look for real quick. We can do 4000. And if we look at one of the files from it, you can see the sticky bit is in the user. So 2000 is group. That was my bad. I had them backwards. So 2000 is group, 4000 is users. And if you understand Linux file permissions, should know the next one we're looking for is 6000. This is going to look for files that have both. And as we do that, something jumps out to me immediately. This guy right here. Because that's a very odd thing to see. And if we look at his file permissions real quick, yeah, so in that 4000 it would have showed up as well. Alright, so anyways, back to this. What is this file? And just doing a quick search real quick, Linux file /bin/screen-450. Google AI comes back and tells us we run the file command. We can see that it's an ELF, which is nice, but this is one thing that I do like using AI. It helps sift through a lot of vulnerabilities out there and lets you know about things. So as you can see here, it says the output identifies the file as an executable binary for the Linux operating system. Specific version of GNU Screen is widely known to be vulnerable to a local privilege escalation LPE, and it even gives us the CVE for it. So if we take a look, grab the CVE, drop it in, you can go through and take a look at the information for it. However, one thing I like to take a look at, doesn't always work, sometimes it does, is the command search exploit to search locally on all the exploits that it has, that Kali has, to see if it finds anything for that particular software. So if you remember here, it was screen 450. And sure enough, we found it, and there it is, LPC. So we want to grab the SH file. And we use the M command, and what that'll do is it'll copy from where it's at here in the exploit DB, and it will put a copy in the current folder we are in. So I'm not going to go over walls in the file. There's not much there. It is a little bash script. If you want to dive more into it, feel free. You can learn a little bit from it. It's pretty good if you want to get more into bash scripting. But real quick, how do we get this our target machine? Python. Python's always the answer. I don't care what anyone says. Python's always the answer. And I'm just going to set this port 8000. Alright, so that's running there. We're going to use wget again. HTTP. And I, first off, need to type it correctly. And second off, I did not grab my IP address. Drop that. Colon 8000. 8000, not 80,000. And then... Okay, so we got it locally now. So let's put change mod, make it executable. Yeah, we got executable on there now. Now we can just run that. Okay, let's type in ID. Oh, looks like it's still going through. Alright, so take our ID command and we are back as root. So we should be able to change into root directory. ls-all. Yep, there it is. There's the root file. Grab it, grab your flag, and you have finished the box. Alright, so that brings us to the end of the room. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a little bit. This was box number 112, easy for me. Working really well and getting to, I believe it's 156, I believe there is at the time of this recording. So I'm going to start trying to ramp up, get a few more done, see if I can get close to 3 or 4 boxes done a month at least for videos putting out. That's my goal right now. And see if I can't start getting more of this done so we can get through these and we can get to the mediums. So if you're interested in this journey, you just want to keep up in case I drop a video for a room that you're fixing to do, please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. I really do appreciate it, and thank you to everyone who leaves comments below. So thank you all for stopping by, whether you're new or returning. Appreciate you all. Hope you have a great one. I'll see you next time.